What's up, guys? Derek from moreplatesmoredates.com. One of my buddies online from another channel. I'll put his channel in the video description below. Check him out. He sent me a pamphlet of a Sustanon prescription. I thought it was really interesting because I've heard, I do consultations over Skype through my website, and a lot of times I'll hear from guys who they're prescribed TRT, but their doctor has them doing one shot like every 2 weeks or something insane. And if you know the half-life of whichever ester testosterone you're using, it's quite likely that one shot every 2 weeks is not good for stable blood serum concentration levels. And that's even if using a long ester like enanthate or cypionate. Mostly it's typically cypionate that's prescribed for testosterone, at least in North America. And, doctors have you shooting it like once every 2 weeks in just like one fat dose. And basically what that does is levels spike, estrogen spikes, and then everything crashes down over the next 2 weeks. Your levels basically just look like dun 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 dun, instead of how they should look, which is like this. And that has a very negative effect on the body, not only for mood regulation, libido, lipids, just a lot of stuff that stable levels, as well as shedding as well. Any hormonal fluctuation, any stark fluctuation in hormones to any extent can cause a temporary shed of hair. Even though it's not permanent, it's just your body's negative reaction to a hormone fluctuation in the body. There's a lot of negatives associated with not having stable levels, and that's why if you were using, test prop or something, it's recommended to pin it every day or every other day at least. And then you have doctors telling you to pin once every 2 weeks, and it's insane. And then of course, most people are gonna trust their doctor because that's what we've been led to believe is the correct thing to do in society, is these guys are, have PhDs and they know what they're doing. So they're doctors. Why would you question their judgments here? And you should, trust me. You need to research this stuff yourself so you know what is going on with your body. But anyway, so I got if you know Sustanon, it's a blend of several different esters. So basically what you can expect from that is some short-term spiking and then some long-term spiking, and it's basically supposed to be kind of like a combination, so you have some sort of sustained release as opposed to just having like a fat spike at one time or another. Typically, even if I was using Sustanon, I would still be pinning it every other day. Basically, this pamphlet, it's literally the Sustanon pamphlet. Like when you get a drug, you probably have, a pamphlet that shows you kind of like the ideal, recommended dosage, the dosage guidelines, how to take it, potential side effects, disclaimers, stuff like that. In this official pamphlet for Sustanon, it tells you to pin it once every 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So basically what's happening is you pin one shot, your levels go spike, and then over the next 3 weeks, you just crash into the abyss. And then you spike them back up after 3 weeks. To me, I just couldn't believe this is like an official way of doing things for hormone replacement. And this is what doctors think is what you're supposed to do. And it just goes to show that these guys are just learning something from somebody who has no experience in the area and then regurgitating that info because they think that it's the correct way to do it, and then relaying that what they think is the correct information to you. And if you question it, then you're an idiot, not them. They're the smart doctor. You're just an idiot for questioning it and not trusting them. Another good example, a friend of mine, he, actually this is very common. I've had several people tell me about this too. Their doctor prescribes 1 milligram of Arimidex every day for TRT dosages of test. So that you have, dude, I would use 1 milligram of Arimidex every day for like a gram of test, not TRT. It's insane. So these guys, they start their TRT and they take their Arimidex with it because their doctor says so, but they don't know what the Arimidex is for because the doctor just doesn't explain it properly. And they feel like complete crap. Dry joints, no libido, no sex drive, feel horrible. And they feel worse even after starting TRT. It's because these doctors are literally like crashing these guys' estrogens to zero with way too much Arimidex. Not only that, they're terrible for your lipid profile as well when you're using that much consistently. So these doctors are like literally not killing these people, but they're like severely hindering their health as well as screwing up their quality of life severely. And they think it's correct because they've been told to do so. And I can't believe in modern day, with all this information around, that the medical system is just like still so behind. If you are going for, you're looking into HRT or you're on HRT and that's what your doctor's doing, do some research because that's not the optimal way to do things. Not a doctor. Don't misconstrue any of this as medical advice, but if it were me, I would want to ensure that my levels are stable and my estrogen is in range and I feel good, because you're not supposed to feel like crap on TRT. So anyways, it's not always the worst thing to research what your doctor's telling you before you just jump into it and assume it's correct. A lot of times you might save yourself some health ramifications. So anyways, don't be your own doctor, but do your research and alongside your doctor. So anyways, rant video. Thought it was kind of pissed me off and was funny at the same time. So anyways, if you guys like that video, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when my videos go up, because that's what you got to do now on YouTube apparently. And yeah, talk to you guys soon.